Your news for the state of Tennessee in about 10 minutes. Tennessee in 10 starts now.
Good morning and thanks for joining us. A Tennessee lawmaker has introduced a bill that would put more restrictions on abortion. It's called the Unborn Protection Act. The bill is sponsored by Republican Representative Gino Bolso, and it would prohibit manufacturers and distributors from mailing or delivering an abortion-inducing drug into the state of Tennessee. If violated, that could come with a $5 million fine. If it passes, the proposal would take effect July 1st of next year. Right now, Tennessee law says human life begins at fertilization. We're seeing fewer flu cases in Tennessee this year, but doctors say that does not mean you should let your guard down. Cases are still higher here than in other parts of the country. Around this time last year, 5% of people in Tennessee had the flu. This year, those numbers are closer to just under 4%. The Department of Justice is now pushing the city of Memphis to enter a consent decree so that the federal government can help clean up its police department. The DOJ held a community forum with more than 400 people last night. This is all because of an investigation that found Memphis police violate the civil rights of black people, mistreat children, and handle the mentally ill in an unlawful manner. The DOJ says that a consent decree could help, but city leaders made it clear last week they have no intention of signing an agreement with the DOJ.
In our experience, the most effective way to bring a police department in compliance with the Constitution and federal law is through an agreement that is enforceable and overseen by an independent monitor.
We believe we can make more effective and meaningful change by working together with community input and independent national experts than we can with a bureaucratic, costly, and complicated federal government consent decree.
The Department of Justice says that cities that have entered consent decrees showed successful reform. Seattle now uses force in less than 2% of mental health crisis calls, and use of force incidents in Baltimore dropped 62% since 2022. Crime in Newark is down 40% since 2016 when the city reached an agreement with the DOJ. DOJ attorneys are now warning the city that without change and accountability measures, Memphis's police force could lose taxpayer trust and money. The Tennessee Department of Human Services is working with law enforcement to investigate an illegal daycare in Antioch. Officers say Ron Malik raped 2 girls over the course of 4 years. Some parents we talked to are concerned that more children may have been abused. His wife, Molly Sinclair, operated the at-home daycare. DHS documents show she was told 10 times since 2015 that she could not run that daycare. She took a plea deal in the case last month. Some parents say they also believe that she should be charged for whatever role she may have played in the alleged abuse.
I'm Whitney Turner in the WVLT newsroom. Cocke County will take a second look at the National Flood Insurance Program. The county's legislative body will decide whether or not to keep it during a special meeting tonight. People were trying to rebuild in certain areas before getting approval from FEMA. Cocke County's property assessor says that now has leaders questioning if the county should keep a national flood insurance plan it's had since 1988. If they vote to keep the program, rebuilding would have to stop on some homes.
It's turned into more of a complicated event than what I think we imagined we would ever be facing. I believe there's also some setbacks for the county as far as federal funding goes if we pull out of the program.
Another concern is that people would have to get flood insurance through lenders directly, likely costing people more money. TEMA will be at tonight's meeting to answer questions and help the legislative body come to a decision. Back to you.
Lawyers for country music star Morgan Wallen expected to be in court this morning on his behalf. He's accused of throwing a chair off of a Nashville bar rooftop earlier this year. Wallen faces 4 charges, including 3 for felony reckless endangerment. 2 officers were standing on the ground when the chair Wallen threw landed. They say just feet away from them.
Some sad news. Knoxville native and Fisk University graduate, renowned poet, activist, author, and professor Nikki Giovanni has died. Giovanni died peacefully Monday with her lifelong partner Virginia Fowler by her side. A professor at Virginia Tech for 35 years, the university said she died after battling cancer for the third time. Giovanni was known as an icon in the Black arts movement and for her work on civil rights and social issues, especially gender and race. She wrote more than 24 best-selling poetry collections. Giovanni was 81. Back to you.
All right, First Alert meteorologist Stefano DiPietro joining us as we brace for another change in the forecast.
Always changing for us right across Tennessee. Now we have another shot of cold air coming our way, Amanda. We have a couple of rain showers that are left over at this hour. Temperatures 50s and 60s will be the high for today, so it's actually still decently mild. Could see some steadier rainfall out toward the Smokies as we go through in the next couple of hours into the middle of the afternoon. I wouldn't think that would cause any problems, I should say. Now a cold front is passing through tonight, so that is going to drop the temperature pretty quickly by the time we get to tomorrow morning, waking up near, if not just above that freezing mark across parts of the mid-state. Little bit warmer out toward East Tennessee, but that's also where we could eventually see a few snow showers develop out toward the Smokies heading into late tonight into tomorrow morning. So this is about 8, 9 o'clock. It's well beyond the morning commute for a lot of us, but may cause some slick spots in those higher elevations. We'll have some sunshine across the rest of the state, but the temperatures are going to stay on the lower end pretty much all day in the 40s, and the wind will pick up to about 30 miles per hour. You factor in the wind chill, that's going to make it feel like we're in the 30s and 20s over the next couple of days.
The Big Orange are on top of the basketball world. That's right. As of today, Rick Barnes' Tennessee Vols are the #1 team in the country in the Associated Press rankings. It's the 6th time in program history. The Vols are off to an 8-0 start with wins over Louisville, Virginia, Baylor, and Syracuse. I'm Whitney Turner in the WVLT Newsroom. Back to you.
Thanks for joining us for Tennessee in 10. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning with a look at the big stories from across the state. Have a great day.
This is Tennessee in 10, streaming your news and weather across the state in about 10 minutes.